Hello, there we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to me. So, Bendigo Innovative again. This time for the MG Innovative British sports cars for round one of their championship. Brought to us by Cranbourne MG, who I'll talk a little bit about later. But we have a 27 car field this round. Brilliant number here, especially for this number in documentation. There is the Hugh Gidney Memorial round. There's also a memorial race for another driver, one of the MGB drivers, happening tomorrow, but I will discuss more about that in tomorrow's session. So, on pole from qualifying is Rhys Howell in the new MG SVR. Hang on, this somewhere.
Oh shit. Where the hands come from?
There we go, there it is. Yeah, Rhys Howell on pole in the MG SVR. I'll quickly talk about that car. That's a new car to the field this weekend. That was the only factory-built MG race car in the field. It was built in 2005 FIA GT3 Reds. And I'm not saying it's a slow car, but I did expect to be a little further ahead of the V8s of Chester Bailey and Gucciardo, who were taking on these 3 spots.
But it wasn't.
It is 2005 regs. Things have moved on since then, and Chester and Robin Bailey.
I didn't look, to be honest, like that.
Mullers are all built to US specs in 2005.
It's pretty efficient.
Running through the grid then, second Phil Chester in the black blue MGB GT V8. Robin Bailey's in third in his...
unfortunately, my gearbox was leaking. But
he's also MGB GT V8. A lot of them are on top of the field. Vince Gucciardo in his green MGC GT V8, excellent wood car that one, who has made some appearances of this weekend to just help Vince out. Paul Vernall sitting in fifth, the first of the
no, it wasn't much. It was just
the first of the non-V8s. Then Muller in sixth, and here's MGB V8.
Yeah, well, that's
Andrew Howell, father of Ryan Howell in seventh. Simon Elliot in eighth, Keith Ondarchie in ninth, and Michael Wood in the top 10. Can you check in there if we've got MG notes? Otherwise, did you grab something from downstairs just qualifying results? Yep. Thank you.
Fourth public Charles in here.
Continuing through the field, we've then got Anthony Vollebregt in 11th, Richard Milligan in the 10, but this time he is in the in a MGB this time rather than his full-size GT V8. He is in a Group S car, especially for tomorrow's race as well. 13th is Gregory White in MGB, 14th is Peter Owen in his MGB. This is actually, well, remember, this is a Group T MGB, which I'll also cover a little bit more about as we get into the racing. 15th is Darren Souter, another MGB. 16th is Alana Ondarchie, daughter of Keith Ondarchie, in her Prime Stag. 17th is David Anderson, his MGB Roadster. Richard Vollebregt is 18th. 19th Sean Herlihy and MGF, so a much newer car than the rest of the field is looking at. Hendrik Zwarteveen, I'm going to butcher the name, it's Dutch. Zwarteveen in his MGB, sponsored by Hema Hydraulics. Peter Rose 21st, David Mottram 22nd, John Stevenson 23rd in his MGTC Special. 24th is Rodger Chapman in his MGB. 25th is James Vollebregt, 26th is James Dodd, and last but not least is Shirley and John-Cox in her Baby Smart sponsored Triumph TR7 V8. So we've got 3 Triumphs in the field, 2 Stags in the V8. There's also a Lotus Elan sneaking in Simon Elliott's car, the bright orange open top Lotus Elan, which has qualified in 8th. Keith Ondarchie is Simon Elliot is actually the best of the invited cars with that Lotus, and then Keith Ondarchie's Triumph Stag is just behind him. So we are now waiting on cars, I believe, from what I can hear, but I can't actually see the FedEx from here. There they are. Yes, they are on grid. Sorry, on the warm-up lap. These guys, because of concerns about the heat, especially with some of the full-size V8 powered machines, they have requested that they do a rolling start. So rather than the sort of traditional, in a way, line up, rev the engine on the grid, off you go start, they're worried about cooking their cars, which is, as I said already, it's a big concern across this weekend. So they will be doing a rolling start. So it will be Rhys Howell and Phil Chester side by side for the start of this race. In terms of the actual race itself, it's going to be an interesting one. There's a new battler up the front with the V8s with Rhys Howell, who was quicker but not that much quicker than the V8. So across the race we might see an improvement. Little things like Vince Gucciardo running E85 versus Phil Chester running 98 octane. E85 runs a lot cooler, so it keeps his engine temp down, so we might see Vince make a move towards the end of the race as the temps rise within the cars. But enough about predictions. The cars are starting. Cars are now moving up towards second last corner. Safety car is accelerating away from the field and is getting ready, I would hope, to pull into the pits. Negative. Negative. He's jumped back and stopped again. This something similar did happen with the sports sedans. I believe there might be a case. I did see a couple of cars lagging behind, although they all look to be. Hang on, the course car is pulled over up the top of the Dandenong Road, as well as the 5 master cars. So I did see. I believe it was Shirley and John-Cox travelling slowly up to that point. So it's possible that. Actually, no, I'm standing corrected. It seems they might just be pulling in. Sort of reversing in parallel parking behind the barriers in case they are needed in a quick fashion from the region of turn 6 onwards. So I just realised I've been talking to myself for the last 5 minutes. Wrong mic. I can't remember, I actually don't know, we went through the grid, but I've got the time to now because we are doing another lap, which is because we actually didn't fully figure out why they're actually running another lap, but they are. So we can go through the grid again. Rhys Howell qualified first out of his sports car, out of his Lamborghini Gallardo sports car and into the MG SVR, and he is on pole in that FIA GT3 2005 spec machine. Phil Chester in second, the best of the sort of regular MGB GT V8s. Roy Bailey third, Vince Gucciardo fourth, Paul Vernall fifth, Ben Muller sixth, Andrew Howe seventh, Sam Elliot eighth, Keith Ondarchie ninth, Michael Wood 10th, Anthony Vollebregt 11th, Richard Milligan 12th, Gregory White 13th, Peter Owen 14th, Darren Souter 15th, Alana Ondarchie 16th, David Anderson 17th, Richard Vollebregt 18th, Sean Herlihy 19th, Hendrik Zwarteveen 20th, and running up the field, Peter Rose, David Mottram, John Stevenson, Rodger Chapman, Jane Vollebregt, James Dodden, Shirley and John-Cox in a Triumph TR7. So hopefully we're getting a green flag now. As I was about to allude to before I realised my error in the mic, in the sports cars race earlier we saw a extended amount of warm-up laps, which could cause heating issues, too much heat in the car if you're not careful. But I believe the lights are now off on the safety car. It is pulling in, so we're about to get this rolling start underway. It is Rhys Howell and Phil Chester side by side, a pair of stonking big V8s about to make this place roar. And they're off. And it's a great start from all of the MG V8s with the exception of Ben Muller. He seems to have laid back in the pack. Brilliant launch from Keith Ondarchie, who caused the red flag in practice, but he also started 10th. He's now jumped on a couple of cars. Further back, we've got the last field trailing through now. Good to see everyone did make it to the start of this race. So we are now waiting on the cars to sweep back into view from grid box. They're coming around now through turn 4.
Phil Chester's got the lead.
Phil Chester has got the lead from Rhys Howell, which is probably a move made through sort of turn 1 or turn 2.
Way clear. At least the second clear.
Oh, he's cleared off from him completely. So I'm guessing there was a slight error on the part of Rhys Howell because he has dropped way back relative to Phil Chester. Phil Chester's a quick bugger, we know that, but that Rhys Howell machine is a GT3, an old GT3 spec machine, so possibly a starting error for Rhys Howell there that puts him that far back, although still in second. Just behind him, it looks like we can see Robin Bailey. We actually had a flash of the headlights from Phil Chester. Cheers, Phil, we can see you. Robin Bailey actually it does actually look like there might actually be Robin Bailey sitting in second. Sorry, no, there's Robin Bailey back in third. Sorry, 2 green MGB GT V8s. Lights are flashing similar to Chester, possibly, I don't know. This one just grab some attention. But Robin Bailey sitting third, Vince Gucciardo fourth, Bendigo Innovative now to fifth. The first of the non-V8, Paul Vernall sitting sixth. Seventh is Ondarchie, got 2 spots, 3 spots on the start. Andrew Howell 7th, Simon Elliot sitting 8th, Simon Elliot sitting 9th, and Vollebregt in 10th, that gives you the top 10. From there, Michael Wood, Richard Milligan, Gregory White, Alana Ondarchie, David Anderson, Richard Vollebregt, wait for the time to swing back around on us, Stuart Vollebregt, Darren Souter, Zwarteveen, Peter Rose, Sean Herlihy, Mottram, Chapman, Vollebregt, John Stevenson, John-Cox, and we've got 2 cars that aren't showing up on the timing, having to show just passing a lap yet. That would be Peter Owen and John Dodd. Peter Owen, well, I remember, running the Group T MGB roadster, which is something I've never heard of before. But I had a look and it's like a subset of Class S or a derivative of Class S, so it's Group S. So that's, I've never heard of Group T before, so I learned something today with the MG boys and girls. Phil Chester already over his second lap. That thing is setting 119, which is sort of a good distance considering we've seen out here today, the section of the sports sedans. Second, Rhys Howell. Third, Robin Bailey, big 120s. And then it's a healthy gap back then to Vince Gucciardo, who's running big 122s. Bendigo sitting 5th, Paul Vernall 6th. Andrew Howell has just passed Keith Ondarchie in the last lap for 7th. Simon Elliot still on 9th, and Anthony Vollebregt just passing us there in the bright yellow MG hatchback for 10th. So you just passing there the red MGB roadster, that's Richard Milligan. He normally would be running in his top flight MGB GT V8, but they elected to not run that this weekend. I believe initially the plan was just to come down and sort of engineer and support his good friend and pseudo teammate in Vernall, but he decided at the last minute to jump in and throw in his classic MGB, which there is a classic race for the MGB being held tomorrow in memory of Peter Lee, who was an MGB racer who actually died in an incident for Ireland in the 90s. So I was going back round to the fields. St John-Cox has just brought into the pits. I'll be showing St John-Cox with David's Mark 5 TR7 V8. We haven't seen her pass us yet, and the MGs don't have any pit garages this round, so it's possible she's pulled in and therefore out of the race, but we will see if she reappears when I'm timing the screens. So I'm Elliot there, just passing Keith Ondarchie, jumping over to 8th place. The top 10 now reads Chester, Howell, Bailey, Gucciardo, Muller. Not much change there. Vernall, Howell Senior, Elliot, Ondarchie, and Vollebregt. Now, actually, on the topic of Ondarchie, Vollebregt, and Howell, a lot of categories do talk about being a big family, and I've been part of these for a while now, and I've seen some of the tensions around other categories, and yeah, I wouldn't argue saying that any of them are not big families, but I would hesitate to say I think the MGs take the cake for this. We've got a father and son in the field, we've got a father and daughter in the field, and we've got a husband, wife, and a son in the field. Rhys Howell is son to Andrew Howell. Alana Ondarchie is daughter to Keith Ondarchie, and then the group of 3 is the father, mother, and son is Anthony Vollebregt, Richard Vollebregt, and Ken Vollebregt. So good to see people not only getting into racing, but bringing the whole family along, and not just to spectate, but actually compete. So that's good to see. It's good to help bring the numbers and really build the family atmosphere of actually having your family there racing alongside you. Not a lot of change at the top. Phil Chester though has managed to eke out a 4.4 second lead over Rhys Howell there. Rhys was the better of the two in qualifying with a 118.62, but he only made a muster of 119.8 in this session. So it's possible that the car was even running a qualifying trim for qualifying. The heat probably necessitating that there's a different trim for a couple of laps of quality in a 10-lap race at full pedal. But he is not so far anywhere near it. The best lap of this race is Phil Chester with a 119.275. So yeah, that takes out to a Formula taking up and growing from him. Rhys Howell, then it's back to Robin Bailey, who got 0.8 seconds. 8 seconds and back to Gucciardo. We're running a little bit slowly. We've got less power in that E85 power MGB GT V8. But it is running more cool because he tried to do that. Casting the line again. Starting to lap some of the classic and Group S cars now. There was a change in order there. Robin Bailey noticed his name past Rhys Howell. Actually, I believe Rhys Howell 108.8 that lap. Sorry, 125.2 that lap. So maybe, as I mentioned earlier, he is running into maybe some heat throttling, and maybe the car is, I wouldn't quite say lit moding, he's still going quite quickly, but it is bringing the power back to look after itself. Robin Bailey at 122 that lap, but it's still 2 seconds off of Phil Chester's last lap that time round. So it's now 7.13 second gap between first and second, with a further 2 seconds back to Rhys Howell third. Vince Gucciardo in fourth, Bendigo in fifth, Vernall sixth, Andrew Howell seventh, Simon Elliot eighth, is the best to be invited. Fifth Ondarchie ninth, and Anthony Vollebregt round at the top 10. Well, I remember this, not only this round, but the full season this year, MG Innovative British Sports Cars has been sponsored by Cranbourne MG. So great to see that not only MG are back, but MG are back involved with state circuit racing and the MG racing. And if you're in the market for a new car and you want to see what the MG range is like, head down to the back of the pits, just next to the red sheds. If you're facing the pits from the facing the paddock from the pits, it is to the left of the red sheds. There is a couple of MGB pads and MGs on display. I think there is a ZS and one of the other new cars. I think they're both crossover SUVs down there, which are a bit popular at the moment. Another car is just from the lane as well. Peter Rose, that Group T. Peter owns the Group T. I apologise. Peter Rose though has popped in the lane as well, and he also hasn't run past our box yet. So I believe possibly issues with that one as well. That puts us down one Triumph TR7 V8 in Shirley and John-Cox, and it takes Peter Rose's MGB out of the race, but it might be, especially with the heat, the effort might be to conserve the car for the, we have it here somewhere, for the Peter Lee MGB Memorial race tomorrow. That is the race. It's actually the first and only race. It's a one just for the classic Group S MGs in the MGB field, and there might be some guys that are coming out this event as well. But that will be held tomorrow at 1:25. But we're coming into the final stages of this race. Phil Chester still running away with it. Hasn't managed to improve his best. Actually, all the lead cars well off their best, but part of that is because they are starting to lap the rest of the field. Interesting thing there, I believe there's an issue with Vince Gucciardo. He's last time was 136 and he's dropped to 7th, so he's lost positions to Ben Muller, Paul Vernall and Andrew Howell there. So possible issues with the green excellent wood MGB GT V8, MGC GT V8. I think he is going to make the end. I would say we've only got another lap to go, but yeah, dropping pace there from the MGC, which Vince will not be happy with. Vince has good experience with these high temps. I caught up with him yesterday, and during one of the practice sessions, his engine got 126 degrees. Joe's actually got to put in his water pump on, which is kind of important, especially in this sort of temperature, but the engine got to 126 degrees and still lives, although you might be seeing some of the this might have the we had in the last lap, or the still just comes through in the lead. Still at 127, so possibly he's having a back off too. That 98 powered machine does run hotter than the E85 powered green machine, and we're already seeing him back off, so it would make sense that Phil has to back off as well. Robin Bailey also backing down, Ben Muller also slower, so he's starting to affect not only some of the old cars in the field, but some of the newer built machines which are sort of which are running under the old shells, which are the MGB GT V8s. Of course, running new engines, the wide range, they're all running V8s, so there's a wide ranging capacity in the field. The SVR, which is currently sitting in third place, runs a 5 litre V8, just under 5 litres. Phil's running a 5.6. Robin Bailey runs a 4.9. Vince Gucciardo runs a not flat, but a 5 litre. And Ben Muller runs a 4.7 litre. Also within the field of MGB GT V8 is Michael Wood, who's got more. He doesn't have the full. Well, he has actually. Field test is back wide off. So if that is temperature related, it's going to be hard now. Now actually, let's say he has, but he's just come over the 124, so he's actually picked up pace there. On that last lap, so whether I'm not sure. We're going to have a chat to some of the top drivers, but I think temperatures won't play an issue. Very slow across the line there for Rhys Howell. They're rolling off way more the line. I think they're really just trying to get the coolant circulating as quick as possible. So there's a win to Phil Chester. Starts off his 2019 title defence with a bang. Robin Bailey in second. Rhys Howell third in the new MG SVR. Fourth is Ben Muller, fifth is Vernall, sixth just across the line, and then is Andrew Howell. Seventh is still waiting for him, unfortunately, really backing right off. The last lap for him was a 136.9, and possibly going to be sorry again. This lap was Vince Gucciardo, who's just come across the line then. 131 picked up some speed there across that last lap, but nothing compared to his best. Simon Elliot finishing in 8th, Keith Ondarchie finishing 9th. Keith Ondarchie finishing 9th. Michael Wood ran out the top 10 in his small stock MGB GT V8. Richard Milligan 11th, Anthony Vollebregt 12th, White in 13th. Wait for timing to make a round, I'll try and run through this before the timing switches again. Anderson 14th, Zwarteveen 15th, Richard Vollebregt 16th, Mottram 17th, Souter 18th, Alana Ondarchie, 9th, they're in MG Special. 20th is then Alana Ondarchie, going ready to come across the line now. 21st will be Roger Chapman. We're waiting for a couple of cars to. No, I think we've seen all the cars, or we're supposed to have seen all the cars. Roger Chapman, Sean Herlihy, there is one of the cars that will be coming to pop up. That was Richard Chapman, so I think we've lost Alana Ondarchie, the second time with Stag. I think that's it. Well, I think someone is being towed back by one of the safety cars looking at the pace it's taking. But Sean Herlihy came off the line has come off the line left down for 22nd. When time come back, there we go. Peter Rose, who pitted, finished 23rd. Vollebregt, 24th. John-Cox, who also didn't make the end, 25th. 49 a couple of non-finishers. Coming a bit around to it, there we go. A couple of more finishes in Owen and Dodd. So Vollebregt there, car being towed around, then Vollebregt. So a couple of cars there, I had to say either running out of tyre, running out of traction, running off the track, or running out of temperature limits. But that's the MG's done for today. They're back tomorrow at 11:15 for their trophy race of 8 laps, and then it will be the Peter Lee MG Memorial race one after that, and then towards the end of the day, 2:55 will be the final race of the MG Motorbridge Squad. And I will see you guys all 3 of those. I think that's me done for the day. I will now hand over to Stephen DeVries and Luke Kingelly. I'm starting to get square ears. Well, guys, thanks for the help.
Yeah, it's all right.